Hey everybody, welcome back. I apologize for taking so long. I actually went to go see my family during the family reunion. So I took a week to go visit them, took a week to gather and get things back together. And I really hope you guys don't think that I was just trying to incite fear. So since 2 weeks ago, when I first talked about the big beautiful bill, guess what? It's been passed in the House. So for those of you who don't remember, let me just refresh your memory of what the big beautiful bill actually is.
Big beautiful bill is now in the hands of the Senate.
But not all Republicans are on board with the current form of the legislation. Fox's Connor Hansen is following the push to pass the bill.
The bill is passed.
After passing the House by just one vote, President Trump's agenda-setting big beautiful bill faces a skeptical Senate.
I'm for the tax cuts. I am for a lot of the bill, but I can't in good conscience give up every principle that I stand for and every principle that I was elected upon.
Senator Rand Paul says the bill will add $5 trillion to the debt ceiling. Posting to Truth Social, President Trump wrote, quote, Rand votes no on everything, but never has any practical or constructive ideas. His ideas are actually crazy, losers.
Those senators, it's not news that they disagree with this president on policy.
Other Republicans are signaling they won't simply rubber stamp the bill.
Just like 215 House members put their thumbprints on it, we want to be able to put ours on it as well.
Now free from his White House post targeting waste, Elon Musk is making his stance clear, posting to X, quote, this massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong, you know it. And Democrats are still united against it.
Behind the smoke and mirrors lies a cruel and draconian truth. Tax breaks for the ultra-wealthy, paid for by gutting health care for millions of Americans.
So as you can see, both the Republicans and Democrats have some hesitation with this bill. Rand said that he cannot go against every principle he stands for or every principle that got me elected. Now, I do think it's important to mention, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, left wing or right wing. It's all part of the same bird. And what George Washington actually said, our founding father, our first president, he said that we should not have a nation that has two parties, because what that's going to do is just create two nations. It's going to be divided when our whole purpose is to be united. So I do want to mention that. Now, that video just talked about it actually getting approved. For those of you who didn't see the last video, I'm going to go ahead and put the actual big beautiful bill picture up. That way you guys can get an idea and we can stop being so emotionally invested into these parties and just look at what's happening in front of us. Now, that's for those of you who didn't remember. So that big green box at the bottom shows where the offsets are going to happen or the cuts, which again is Medicaid. Now, that's healthcare. I don't know about you, but it's expensive. I remember about 10 years ago when I was in college, I went from my college campus to the emergency room via ambulance. And trust me, it was about 15 minutes and it was the most expensive car ride I've ever had in my life. They charged me over $4,000 and I'll never forget, it said $800 for oxygen that I didn't even use. That was 10 years ago. I don't mean to incite, whatever. But do we remember what happened with Luigi? So it's expensive and this is being cut away. Regardless if you're on the right or the left, this is what's being stripped in front of us. So just a little bit more insight as to what I'm talking about. Listen to this.
Trump's big beautiful bill has passed after another grueling all-night session, taking a major step forward for Trump's agenda. Now Medicaid patients are questioning what this means for their health care coverage. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office believes these changes would slash spending but could leave at least 8.6 million Americans without health insurance by 2034. For people living with chronic conditions, losing Medicaid coverage could be life-threatening, making treatments unaffordable.
About 90K in medical debt because there's a lot of insurance gaps when it comes to people with chronic conditions. So certain insurance companies, they wouldn't either pay for certain treatments, or if you're in a hospital for a long time, I was in the hospital for once 2 to 3 months, the hospital's like, hey, like we'll cover this, but you have the rest. They didn't even cover half of like my hospital bill, which put me in debt at an early age of 23.
All right, so we've been looking at this basically through a microscope. You know, it doesn't matter if you're 23, like the lady, or 65. Whenever you need help, they're telling you that they're not going to be there to help. It's going to be 100% on you. Now, let's zoom out. We have all agreed to this social construct because it works. The government has given us an offer, and we said, yeah, let's do it. And for a time, it worked. That life map that was given to us, go to school, get a job, retire, get a house, die. You know, maybe not in that order, but if they aren't providing any health care, that was Medicaid that they took away, but it also said Social Security. It also said from food. We also just saw what they did with the job market, which is a huge topic that we need to talk about with the job market. But let's just stay focused on the Social Security. It was originally actually called the Economic Security Act. And they told us it's supposed to run out between 2033 and 2037. Now, imagine just the tone shift. Would it matter more to you if you knew that our country's Economic Security Act is running out? Also, you know, this is something that we're all binded into right now. Imagine if this was presented right now. Hey, we're going to take money from you every single check, and we'll give it back to you maybe 40 years down the line if it's still there. Would you sign that? And that's what we're all a part of right now. Right now. So like I said, are people's feelings valid? Yes, but let's zoom out and have a bigger conversation. Things are being affected right now that hurts all of us, this united family. So if you don't want to be victim and be reliant on the government to provide a lifestyle for you, because that's another thing. What happens when the promise is broken? Whether that's a family member, your spouse, your child, your best friend, the government. What happens? That relationship is broken. And not only have they not honored promises, they're being upfront. They're telling us right now what's happening. So if you want to be able to not be reliant on the government for these benefits, if you don't want to be reliant on them for retirement or giving you any sort of lifestyle as an adult, there are strategies that you can take advantage of. And my question is for all of you to ask yourself, is the strategy that you have right now going to protect you from these things that are happening? And if not, when would you want to get started on learning something about that? Wouldn't that at least be worth 45 minutes of your time? If you think so, welcome home to the Independence. Go ahead and drop a comment. I'll put my calendar link in the description below. But we don't have time to play around anymore. We don't have time to have these petty arguments anymore. Because as we're fighting it's for crumbs, they don't move the whole table. So just want to let you guys know about that. We will have some more content rolling out now that I'm back home and back in the groove of things, because we need to talk about this job market. But thank you all for staying tuned this long. If you have stayed tuned this long, you're a real one. And obviously there's something inside of you that you know isn't right. And there's something inside of you that feels like there should be something else available, which there is. So we'll be talking soon. Until then, peace, guys.